Folks, did I get stuck with a 25-gallon fruit tree, not knowing what it is? This particular tree here is not well known, as I was saying, and that's one of the reasons why I planted them up front. I recommend you get a grafted tree and not a tree that is all from a seed. Trees take a long time to grow, and I don't know anyone that has this size trees. You know, Paul, ChatGPT tells you what you want to hear sometimes. They're not always accurate. I am here and taking this home. I'm gonna get it right in the ground. I got the perfect spot. Did you lie to me, ChatGPT? And they literally said it might have been a loss of my money and my time. It is November 20th, 2025, and have I got a story for you. ChatGPT lied to me. They made me buy a tree that was a lot of money, and because they lied to me, it might have been a loss of my money and my time. But more importantly, it might be a wonderful thing. Stay tuned for today's video, because today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite fruits that's an underrated fruit that more people should know about here in South Florida. And I'm going to tell you this story to help you not make the same mistake I made. So here we are today, November 20th, 2025. And you know, I make these videos to help you and to learn as well, because as I'm teaching you, I'm learning. Many of you appreciate the way I ask questions and share this information. And the reason why I do this, because I'm learning at the same time as I'm teaching you often. So I learned a lot about this next fruit that I'm going to talk about today. And I'm talking about it because I think if you're in South Florida, it is something you must grow. And it is one of the most delicious filling fruits. It is camito, also known as star apple. Wow, what an amazing fruit. And I'm going to tell you, like I do in all fruits, the best varieties to get if you're in South Florida, and when they're in season, and everything you need to know about camito, star apple. If you have a variety of star apple here in South Florida, put in the comments below what you have and your thoughts on the taste and the flavor and the productivity of that particular variety. So this particular variety here behind me is my biggest camito tree. Look how beautiful the leaves are. I love this tree, and it's one of several reasons why I put it up front in my house. But this tree here is a beautiful tree that grows really big, and it is flowering right now. The normal season for camito to flower is now, and the normal time it is to fruit in South Florida is usually around March. So most of the varieties will flower now, and they'll fruit around March. Now, that's important because mango season doesn't start till June. So from March, April, and May, you're getting 3 months of a fruit outside of mango season, which has an abundance of fruit. Camitos are great to grow because they're in March. Most varieties. I'm going to tell you about some varieties today that will fruit in February, even better. Amazing, amazing. And that alone is worth watching this whole video. But this is camito. Not a lot of people know about this. If you grew up in the Caribbean, you know about this fruit. It is a star apple, absolutely amazing. Not star fruit, but star apple. Now, as you can see, they grow really big, and you have to keep them trimmed if you don't want them to go crazy big. Here's the reason why you don't want them to go crazy big. They do not fall off the tree when they get ripe. And because of that, you're going to have to pick them off the tree when they are ripe. Now, when it comes to March, when this tree is ripe, I'll show you how to pick the fruit off the tree. I'll also do a video going through all the different varieties and literally show you of me eating those. But in the meantime, you can click on the links below and you can see the videos I've done previously with star apple or camito, where I actually had the fruit and I was eating it and talking about those different varieties. I'll tell you today which varieties to get and why to get them, but you can look at those links below and see me with the actual varieties, and I'm going to make an updated video with that here coming soon in March. But this particular tree here is not well known, as I was saying, and That's one of the reasons why I planted them up front. If you have a big space, you can plant these anyway, you don't have to worry. But when you have limited space, you got to be strategic about where you're planting things. And star apple is one of the things that you can successfully plant up front for two reasons. Number one, not many people know about it. Number two, it doesn't fall off when it's ripe. You have to pick them when they're ripe. And if these trees get tall, people are going to have to get up there and actually pick them. It's very unlikely somebody's going to take your star apple. Now, there's green and there's purple star apple. I planted this one in this particular spot for several other reasons. It is a beautiful tree. The leaves are one side green and one side brown. Absolutely a gorgeous tree. But one of the reasons I planted a green one up front was because the fruit doesn't look ripe. So I planted a green one. Now keep this in mind when you're going to buy and plant a star apple tree. They will fruit on their own, but not really well unless you have another variety to pollinate them. Usually a green and a purple one, you'll get the best pollination, and if they're close together, you'll get the most amount of fruit. So you will get some fruit, sometimes very little depending on the variety, if just one tree, but the more trees you have of this, the better. So this tree I planted here, it's a green tree. Now, when it comes to the varieties, if you're looking for a grafted tree, and like all fruit trees, especially if you're limited on space, I recommend you get a grafted tree and not a tree that is all from a seed, because they take too long and you don't know what you're going to get. So this is a grafted tree, and in South Florida, when you're growing these, there's the most common trees is one, they're grafted, it's called a purple or a green. There's no name. They're called purple or green, and that's important when I tell you my story today to understand. Most of these do not have a name. I'll say it again. Purple and green. So I got this purple one, and I don't think is any special variety of purple. They just call it purple because it's grafted and it's purple. And then there's one that's grafted and it's green. Well, this is a green one. Is that purple? This is a green one. So I got this green one. Thankfully, the fruit came out delicious. It's not too big, the fruit, but it came out delicious. I was happy with this. Last year, I got my first nice crop. I was happy with it. I have to learn the best time to pick them when, since they're green, they're a little bit more challenging to pick than the purple one. Now, I had a purple grafted one right here, but for whatever reason, I decided to move it to the back over there, and that one hasn't fruited yet. For some reason, it's struggling a little bit more, and I have to figure that one out. But I have that green and purple. Then I spoke to Julian at laurafarmsmiami.com, and it blew my mind. One of the things I love about Julian at laurafarmsmiami.com is he finds different varieties or creates different varieties out of his trees. For example, black sapote. I've been growing black sapotes for years. I had no idea there were more than one variety of black sapote until I met him. It's amazing. His website's amazing. I'll put the link below. I highly recommend it. But he had named varieties of star apple. Wow, I had to get down there and taste them, and I did. Again, the link's below of me tasting all of those, and we'll do a more updated taste test coming here in March. But not only did he have named varieties that tasted different, but they also had different characteristics of those fruits. One of those fruits, or actually two of those fruits that I'll tell you about today, two of those varieties actually fruit in February, maybe even January instead of March. So now you can get the fruit in January instead of waiting already to March. To have off-season fruit is one of the things I'm trying to get as much as possible. The Fruit Hunter's white sapote, off-season. The black sapote that I found, off-season. And now even a mango off-season that I'm going to be telling you about real soon here. But if you can get off-season varieties, all the better, because you could have the fruit longer throughout the year. So Julian has some varieties that are named varieties that he has there that are excellent. And I want to tell you that those are the ones you should get. I would not get the green or purple grafted, common grafted varieties here in South Florida. I would get the name varieties. And the number one name variety I would get is Hypolito. Now, I know I'm saying that kind of wrong. It's called Hypolito, named after the former president of Dominican Republic. Julian went to his house, and when he was down there, he was staying at the president's house who loves fruit trees. So he was staying at the president's house who loves fruit trees, and that president had a beautiful green sapote in front of their house. And he tried it, and it was amazing. It was big, it was delicious, and he got some cuttings, he brought it back and grafted it, and he named it after the president. It's called Hypolito. So that is the #1 green variety I would recommend. It tastes amazing, and I have 2 of those trees, I think. I got several, but my trees got a little bit mixed up, but I'll show you my other yard. I think I have 2 of those. Now, so that is one of the green varieties that's well known out there. That's the one I tasted. That's the one I love, and that's the one I recommend as the green one to get. There are several nurseries that sell Hypolito trees, but to my knowledge, Julian at Laura Farms Miami is the only one that ships it in the mail. So keep that in mind. If you want to get a bigger variety, a bigger gallon size, because they're so popular, you can't even keep them in stock. He can't even keep them in stock because people keep ordering them because they're that good. So he only has the smaller ones, and he'll ship them to you. If you do want to get a bigger variety, 25 gallon or so, I know somebody who has them, and I might be able to get them for you. Contact me. But you can order them in the mail from Julian. You can't mail a 25 gallon. So that's the green variety I recommend. Now, there's another green variety that I haven't tasted yet called Giant Star, or no, White Star. White Star. So I haven't tasted that one yet, but it's supposed to be pretty good. Now, there's another variety. Well, now let's look at the purple varieties. Those are the only 2 green name ones that I really know. As for the purple varieties, this is where it gets quite interesting. Since I had this green one here, I wanted more purple ones. Julian has the most amazing tasting purple one that I've had. He has 3 of them, actually. One of them he calls Laura Purple. Now, what's so special about Laura Purple is the Laura Purple camito that Julian sells at Laura Farms. He's the only one that has it. It fruits in January. Starting in January, February, March, and going all the way sometimes to May or June. That is the Laura Purple Star Apple Camito. And I had one, and it died. Oh! So I'm getting another one, but it would have been just as big as this if it didn't die. It was right here, and it died in this other spot next to it. So Laura Purple, that's the one you want to get. Now, he also has one called Purple Plum, which is another variety that he has. The Laura Purple is also called his Laura House, I believe. Then he has another one called Laura Plum, which is a smaller one that my friend Bobby got from him and I tasted. And it's probably the sweetest star apple I've ever tasted. It's so sweet. The only thing is it's small, like a plum size. The Hypolito, the white variety, and also the Laura Purple are much bigger. The Laura Plum is a smaller size, but so sweet. Would recommend it, especially since it fruits earlier. So those are 2 of the purple ones I would recommend. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I interviewed Maurice Kong, which is Maurice Kong, previously on my show, who's an amazing fruit hunter who's went around the world and got many of these fruits and brought them back here to the United States. And he got one of them, this amazing purple camito, and he gave it to Julian, and Julian planted it and grafted it and planted it and now sells it. It's called Burgess. It's a purple one. It's called Burgess. Absolutely, hands down, the best of the best. It's big, it's sweet, it's delicious, and I highly recommend it. Burgess Camito or Star Apple. You could find it at several different places now, but you could definitely get it in the mail from laurafarmsmiami.com. I'll put that link below. Wonderful. If you could find it somewhere else, jump on it. And I did. I found it. I got some from Julian. I don't have any in the ground because it's so popular. I got a small one from Julian, but I found the bigger one somewhere recently, and I got it. And I'm so excited about it because that is one I really want. Probably of all of them, since it's purple, you know when it's ripe. And it's just, the taste is amazing. I made some videos on that variety as well. Highly recommend the Burgess Star Apple. Absolutely amazing. Now, I heard of some other varieties. I heard of one called Haitian Star. I heard several different varieties that are named, but there aren't too many named in general. Then I also heard of one called Giant Thai variety, or Giant Star Apple, or Giant Thai Star Apple. Regardless, I recently got some of those, and I got those from Zane's World Nursery, and I haven't tasted that one yet, but I find it hard to believe, but I hear they're just as good as Burgess. If that's the case, that's exciting because I just bought 2 of those trees from Zane's World. So Zane World has the giant variety of the purple. Now, here's the interesting thing. So here I am with my big, beautiful star apple tree, green, wanted to get a purple one here in the ground. I have my white one, my camito over there, so I need to get a purple one. I'm making a video about star apple and buying the trees, and I go to this nursery that I love called Excalibur Fruit Trees. I go to Excalibur Fruit Trees, and here I am making a video on their star apples. And over there, if you call them up, they say we only have green and we only have purple. The green grafted and the purple grafted. Not too exciting when you think about the name varieties that are out there. However, they have the biggest trees around. They have them in 3 gallons, 7 gallons, 15 gallons, 25 gallons, 45 gallons, 65 gallons. They even have 100-gallon trees. So even though they're green grafted and purple grafted, if you want a big, big, big star apple tree, that's one of the places you want to go. Like I said earlier, I know a place that has the 25-gallon of the Hypolito sometimes, but this place is loaded, and I made a short clip of my time there, and I'll show you here of what they have. All right, here's the camito trees that they have here at Excalibur. They have purple, they have green, and they also have one called Excalibur, which I have to find out about that. But they have them in 25 gallons. Excalibur Star Apple. And they have them in 3 gallons. They have the green and the purple. So they don't have the name varieties, but these are still grafted. I got my green one, I got a purple one here. All of these are amazing. But these are what they have in stock here. The more you have of these trees, the better. They're just wonderful. And here's one called Excalibur Star Apple. I haven't seen this one around, so that's a name variety that they have there, so that's really cool. But that's their star apples, and then they have biggest star apple. You know star apple by looking at the leaves. They're brown on one side and green on the other side. So they got a good amount of 25 gallons. And it's not easy to find these this big, this tall. So if you're looking for a 25-gallon purple star apple, Excalibur is a place you definitely want to check out. And we're going to go take a look at their big star apple tree that they have in the ground. Okay, everybody, look at this beautiful star apple tree. Beautiful. Thick, old tree in the ground. And there's even some roots coming off from here. Here's the leaves, 2 different colors. Oh, look at that. That's a big star apple tree. That's what you have to look forward to. On the star apples, right next to this mamey. There's a few fruit up there as well. Very nice. I don't know if they have bigger than 25-gallon trees here. Let's look over here and see. They have more 25 gallons. Let's see what this is here. Oh yeah, wow, wow. Look at this. This is in like a 100-gallon pot. Excalibur. Wow. Wow. So you can grow these in pots. Huge. They have 3 gallons, they have 25 gallons, and they have a 100-gallon star apple tree. They have a big one in the ground, but a 100-gallon, maybe even bigger, for sale here. Again, trees take a long time to grow, and I don't know anyone that has this size trees. If you're looking to get a tree in the ground, fruiting, might take you 20 years to get a tree this size. I think it's worth the money to just get that in the ground, have it delivered, let them put it in for you. All right, everybody, there it was. That was the camito trees they have here at Excalibur Fruit Trees. I definitely recommend you check them out if you're looking for a big size camito or even a small one. Definitely something that you should check out here. Now, here's the story. I go there and I'm looking at their name varieties, and as you see, I see green, I see purple, but then I see one called Excalibur. Excalibur. At first it piqued my interest because I thought maybe this is a different variety, and I asked them and they said they don't know. It's a purple variety, but they don't think it's anything different. They just probably put the name Excalibur on there. Fair enough. But then I was looking and looking and looking, and I saw a variety called Catel. C-A-T-A-L. Catel. Blew my mind. This is a different variety. I briefly looked at this variety, and I didn't think much of it at the time. I just noticed it was something different than anything else they had there. So I was kind of shocked, but I didn't think anything about it until I asked them about it. They shrugged their shoulders. They didn't know much about it. I was curious about it. So what I did, I went on ChatGPT. This is crazy, folks. I went on ChatGPT. I left there. I didn't get it. I left there. I went on ChatGPT, and all of a sudden it told me it was a variety that tastes just as good as Burgess. It's purple. It's almost bigger and tastier than Burgess. And Burgess, in my opinion, was like the most amazing purple one I've had. And I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. And it says it's a variety from Puerto Rico. Like, wow. So I called up several nurseries that I know. It even said who might have it. It said Zane's World might have it. Incredible Edible might have it. Laura Farms most likely has it because they have all these exotic fruits. So I contacted all of them. And not only did they not have it, they never heard of it. It's like, wow, this variety is so unique of star apple that nobody's even heard of it. And I was waiting all weekend, and then Monday came. I'm like, I got to get this. I got to get this. I wasn't sure because I looked in the video when I went there. They had 7 gallons, 15 gallons, 25 gallons, 100 gallons. And I couldn't remember if it was a 100-gallon tree or a 200-gallon tree, which I couldn't get. No way I could get it to my house. I wasn't going to get it if it was a 100-gallon tree. But I went there, and it was in a 25-gallon tree. I went back there. 25-gallon tree. I was like, wow, amazing, amazing. I go there with excitement. and I purchased the tree. Catal, Catel. I purchased the tree just yesterday, November 19th, 2025. I put it in the ground. Here it is, folks. Look how beautiful that is. Look, big, beautiful leaves. And it even has, this is amazing. It even has fruit on there. Now, when I was loading it in my car, and it was crazy when I was loading in my car, I was so excited about this. Let me show you the clip when I found out this was in a 25-gallon and I bought it and put it in my car. Check this out. All right, everybody, I'm back here at Excalibur Fruit Trees, and they have a lot of star apples that say green, and some of them say purple. Those are the common ones that are out there. Now, they have some that say Excalibur, and they're purple, but we don't know if they're anything different. They might just be the name Excalibur, or they might be a special variety. Richard Wilson, the person that started Excalibur, had passed away, and he used to go and get different varieties of star apple from other countries. But then I'm in this collection and I found this one, Catel. And I researched it, and this is an excellent purple variety. Now this one, they're not going to mess up as they would the others. It doesn't look like this tag was put on here by accident or by mistake recently. It's in this 25-gallon. I want to get this. It's big, beautiful. I have a perfect spot for this. It's the only one here with this name. There's another one here, and this one doesn't have a tag. It's just as big. But, I mean, they have this 300, 400-gallon size pot. But this is the only one here with that tag on it. And I looked and I can't find it. So I'm going to try to buy it, and I'll keep you updated. But definitely, they have Excalibur. That might be their own variety as well, because it's not saying green or purple. But it says camito purple on the pot. This one on the pot, it doesn't say anything. So this might be this lost variety that not too many people know about, or at least can't be found. So I'm gonna go see if I can get it. Here's the green camito. That one's an Excalibur. It might be the same, it might be different, but I do believe that this one is different. And this one without the tag might be part of the same one. But I want to grab this one because I know for sure what it is. All right, I'm going to go get it now. Definitely get on out here. Excalibur fruit trees. All right, it's really exciting. I bought the tree. They're going to bring it to the car now. And see if I can fit it in my car. I don't know if I could, but we'll see. And we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm in my car. We amazingly fit this tree in the car, 25-gallon. And I was a little concerned because there were two fruit on the tree, and they were green. But this is supposed to be a special purple variety. So I was a little concerned, but I went to ChatGPT, and it says, as my suspicion possibly, it says all star apples are going to start out green, even if they're the purple variety. So I am here and taking this home. I'm going to get it right in the ground. I got the perfect spot, and I'm really excited. I really hope this is the true variety of what the tag says. I have a good feeling it is, and it's very exciting. So I'm on my way home. I'm glad it fit. This is crazy how it fit in my caravan. I didn't even need to take the car seats out. But now I got to make it home. So we'll see. All right, there it is. So exciting. The tag even stayed on. There's the variety. We'll see. I hope it's not root bound. That was another concern of mine. It's been there a long time, but we'll see. All right, everybody. Here's the tree. It's still wrapped up. And we're digging the hole right here. This is temporary. That'll eventually be moved, and the moringa will be moved. But we're going in. All right, we got the tree in the ground. I'm going to cut away some of the roots. And I left it growing this way. So eventually it'll grow towards the driveway and maybe fall out here. Here we go.
It's spraying them out, and you're not cutting too much of them. That looks beautiful, Paul.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm going to water it and then get some dirt in there. Thank you, man. Well, today is November 19th, 2025. We bought the 25-gallon and it's going in the ground. All right, here's where the story gets crazy. So when I'm putting it in my car, I look on the tree and it had some fruit. It had 3 fruits on here. I'm looking for them right now. There's 3 fruits on there. Where are they? Let me find them. Okay, here. I put it in my car and there's 3 fruits on there. And there's the fruit. It's green. It's supposed to be purple, right? So now I start getting nervous. Did I buy the wrong tree? So I contact Julian at Laura Farms, Miami. And I said, listen, I bought this tree that you haven't heard of, the Catel. It's a purple variety. That's great. But it's green. If it's a purple variety, will the fruit be green first? Hoping he says yes. But if he says no, what did I get? And he says yes. Even the purple varieties, the star apples will turn green, or they'll start off green and then they turn purple later on. Okay. Because I wouldn't want to get the wrong variety, a 25-gallon, right? And this tree is just so beautiful. So I said, okay, thank you. And I get home, I put it in the ground. So excited. I text him, I say, hey, I got the tree in the ground. It's wonderful. I'm really excited. He said, I never heard of it, he said. Are you sure it's a good variety? I said, of course I am. I checked it out on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told me all about this. And he said, you know, Paul, ChatGPT tells you what you want to hear sometimes. They're not always accurate. I said, that can't be true. You know, and I always know, don't believe everything you hear on the internet, but this is supposed to be artificial intelligence, right? Well, I say, let me try something. I go on ChatGPT and I make up a name. I think I said Nissan, which is my last name. Nissan star apple. Nissan camito tree. Tell me about it. Folks, it said the same exact thing as the Catel. It's a beautiful purple variety. It tastes better than Burgess, and it grows wonderful. And my heart sank. I said, let me try this again. I made up a name. Ox star apple. Just made up a name. It said the same thing. Did you lie to me, ChatGPT? And they literally said, yes, I did. I apologize. I lied. I made up the information. There's really no such thing or no known variety as Ox, Nissan, or Catel. Folks, did I get stuck with a 25-gallon fruit tree, not knowing what it is, buying an unnamed variety because ChatGPT gave me the wrong information? The answer is yes, I did. Learn from my mistakes, folks. You check with Julian at laurafarmsmiami.com. And if he hasn't heard of it, very good chances it's not real, especially if your only other resource is ChatGPT. And he told me, you got to check Google. If this was a real variety that's common, as it says it's not common, but it's good. some other people would know about it. So he said check Google at least and see if it's on there. If it's not on Google and Laura Farms hasn't heard of it, be very skeptical. So here's the good news. That's the bad news. Here's the good news. Camito season is right around the corner. This tree has 3 fruit already on it. I will know quickly if those 3 fruits mature correctly, if this is a good tree and if it's worth keeping or not. That's the good news. Worst case scenario, I might have to wait 1 year, next year, to find out, to see how productive it is and learn more about it. It's a beautiful tree, and I'm really excited about it, and I feel good about it. But here's the other thing. Julian told me that Richard Wilson, who was the owner of Excalibur Fruit Trees, who died a couple of years ago, he told me that Richard contacted him and said he had a very rare camito, a purple one, that it was the skin was so thin you could actually eat the skin, that it tasted amazing. There is a slight chance, a very slight chance, that this might be that variety. I don't know. I don't know if this was a mislabel or a mistag. There's no other fruit called Catel. Just don't know. I'm going to have to wait and find out. But that's my story. That's my warning. And that's my excitement. I have this tree here that might turn out to be something decent. We'll find out. In the meantime, I got my purple giant variety. I got my Burgess variety. I'm getting my Laura purple variety. And I got my camito in the ground, and I highly recommend you get them as well. I'm going to put links below where you can get those. And again, if you're here locally in South Florida, a lot of nurseries will have camitos. Be careful on getting the green or purple grafted varieties. Get a name variety. If you do get a name variety, remember, if you want one, the only one I know shipping them in the mail is Julian at laurafarmsmiami.com currently. So that's my story. That's my day. Links are below to other videos I've done about Camito Star Apple. I have a lot of other videos coming up here soon. There you go. Have a great day, everybody, and keep growing.